When you hear conservatorship, you likely think of Britney Spears and the Free Britney movement. Her conservatorship came to an end last November after 14 years. But there's another type of conservatorship that some lawmakers see as a tool to combat the homelessness crisis.
Right, we're not talking about an extremely wealthy, very famous celebrity. We're talking about the sickest and most vulnerable people that live on the streets of San Diego and on the streets of cities across the nation.
San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria wants to expand the current conservatorship law to force more mentally ill homeless people to go into treatment and get off the streets. Right now, the law says people who courts rule as gravely disabled can be placed under conservatorships, which means they can be placed in care against their will.
Where a portion of these folks, they end up in the criminal justice system, which I hear very clearly from the public they are not comfortable with. And there has to be some choice other than leaving them on the streets or incarcerating them in prison. We have to have a better option.
He thinks the gravely disabled definition could be expanded. But providers say even if more people can be forced into care, there aren't enough places for them to go. Michelle Cabrera is with the County Behavioral Health Directors Association of California.
How does anything change the day after that law is signed if we don't have more treatment beds, more housing, more funding for services? It won't bring with it all of those new resources.
Cabrera says people stand a better chance at long-term recovery when they enter into services voluntarily.
The vast majority of people, including people with serious mental illness and or substance use disorder needs, voluntarily, willingly accept both services as well as housing when it is offered to them. Our problem in California is that we have a major deficit of housing that meets the needs of very low-income Californians.
Greg Angel is the CEO of Interfaith Community Services.
Far too often we have to ask somebody, where did you sleep last night? And is it safe to sleep there again? Because help is not available today.
He says addressing conservatorship reform before expanding resources is a backwards way of thinking.
So until we have access to these resources, taking away people's rights who want to access those resources but who can't, just is going too far and is not something we would advocate for.
Carrie Souza has been homeless since 2016 and knows she suffers from a mental illness.
I let them know that I have a mental illness and that I need help with my medication and I need to have an eval. But I don't think a lot of people know to say that.
She questions what will happen if someone rejects a conservatorship.
What if you don't want to do what they're asking you to do? Is that gonna affect me negatively? Am I now not gonna get the services that I need? So that would be pretty pertinent.
Every Wednesday, Souza goes to a Humanity Showers event for a shower, food, and clothes. Jordan Verdin, who runs the program, is worried that conservatorships could violate people's trust.
And coming out here and speaking to people, you'll get to see a lot of the underlying issues are really deep-rooted in trauma and displacement. And these policies will actually perpetuate the trauma deeper by displacing them and removing them from their communities.
But Mayor Gloria says the problem can't continue as it has. Something has to be done.
And San Diegans see it every single day of people who are clearly not capable of caring for themselves being left on the streets where they're vulnerable, sick, in some cases dying. It's absolutely unacceptable. We have to do something different, and that's why we need to change our state's conservatorship laws.
He will spend the next year working to change the law. Tania Thorne, KPBS News.